Hey everyone, and welcome to another video. Now, you may have already seen, but the ATP have announced some huge news for tennis this week. They're going to be trialing off-court coaching in the professional game on a trial basis from the 11th of July for the rest of the year. Now, coaching during professional matches has been trialed on and off over the last few years. They've been regularly using it in team matches such as Davis Cup, Fed Cup and Laver Cup, and it's been a big success. However, there's always been this debate about should they bring coaching in to professional ranked singles and doubles events. They've recently started trialing it on the WTA tour. Now they're going to be trialing it on the ATP tour as well. And I honestly have mixed feelings about this, which I'll talk to you about in a second. But before we talk about my feelings, let's talk about some of the rules that will come into play when this trial starts. First of all, coaches must sit in the tournament's designated coach seats. Coaching, verbal and non-verbal, is allowed only if this does not interrupt play or create any hindrance to the opponent. Verbal coaching is permitted only when the player is at the same end of the court as the coach. Non-verbal coaching, hand signals, is permitted at all times. Verbal coaching may consist of a few words and or short phrases. No conversations are permitted. Coaches may not speak to their player when they leave the court for any reason, and penalties and fines will still apply for abuse or misuse of the above rules. So the reason the ATP have opted to trial this is to increase engagement through fans and spectators watching tennis more often, and I honestly think it will do that. For me, it's going to be super interesting to see how this all pans out. As a coach, I love to hear what the coaches have to say to their players at crucial points during the match. It'll be interesting to see if the coaches are mic'd up or not, as I think that will add another element as well. However, I do have my concerns. My first concern is I feel that we're losing a key skill that tennis players learn from a very young age, the skill of problem solving. I see tennis as a very gladiatorial sport where you have to fend for yourself out on the battleground. It's one-on-one or two-on-two, and it's your job to adapt and overcome difficult situations on the court. As soon as you bring a coach into the mix, you start relying on them and you lose that ability to problem solve for yourself. As a coach, I work super hard with my players to develop those skills, so I try very hard not to give them too much information all of the time. Another concern that I have is for junior tennis players. When they and their parents see this happening on the Pro Tour, they're likely to copy it in their junior events, which could open up a can of worms for their tournament organizers and could create some really tricky situations. In my opinion, I feel that children learn much more when they're on the match court by themselves, experimenting and learning to deal with winning and losing and overcoming tricky situations. If parents and coaches get involved in these situations, children will start to rely on them and won't find the ability to fend for themselves. Anyway, overall, I think it can be a really positive situation for tennis if it can get more people watching it. For me, I'm really interested to see how it goes over the next few months, but I do have my concerns, like I mentioned. So let me know what you think in the comments below. I'll try to get back to all of you, and I will see you in next week's video. Take care.